Death, the one certainty that unites all living things. The inevitable end, the great unknown, the final frontier. Humanity has spent centuries fearing it, fighting it and dreaming of escaping it. But what if death wasn't inevitable? What if one day, we had the power to stop it entirely? What would it mean to live forever? Would it be a blessing, or would it become a curse? Would humanity evolve into something greater, or would we collapse under the weight of our own immortality? These are the questions that push the limits of our understanding, questions that force us to confront the very nature of existence. Tonight, we dive into one of the most controversial and mind-blowing topics of all time. Can we eliminate death? Will science, technology, or even something beyond our understanding make it possible? And if we could live forever, should we? By the end of this journey, you may never look at life or death the same way again. But before we talk about the possibility of stopping death, we need to understand why it happens. Death is not just an accident. It is an essential part of how biology works. Every living organism is programmed with an expiration date. Our bodies wear down, our cells break apart, and eventually, we reach a point where life can no longer continue. This process is dictated by something called cellular senescence. Over time, our cells accumulate damage. Telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of our DNA, shorten every time a cell divides. Eventually, they become so short that the cells stop functioning properly. When enough cells fail, organs deteriorate and the body can no longer sustain life. But if this is the rule of life, why are there exceptions? Why do some creatures defy this process? The immortal jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii, has the ability to revert to its juvenile form whenever it is threatened or injured. In essence, it resets its biological clock and starts life over again. Some species of turtles and certain kinds of fish can live for hundreds of years without showing signs of aging. And lobsters, rather than growing weaker with age, continue to grow larger and stronger. If nature itself has already discovered ways to slow or even halt aging, why haven't humans achieved the same? Could we one day manipulate our own biology to become like these seemingly immortal creatures? Could we unlock the secrets of eternal life? Scientists around the world are working tirelessly to unravel the mysteries of aging and death. Some believe that we are on the edge of the greatest medical revolution in human history, one that could change the very fabric of society. If aging is just a process, then theoretically, it can be stopped, or even reversed. There are several ways researchers are exploring this possibility. One of the most promising is genetic engineering. Scientists have discovered specific genes, like the FOXO3 gene, that are linked to longevity. Some animals with mutations in these genes live significantly longer than others. If we could edit our own DNA, could we extend human life indefinitely? Another area of research is telomere extension. Every time a cell divides, its telomeres get shorter. When they become too short, the cell stops functioning and dies. But what if we could restore them? Some experiments suggest that lengthening telomeres could extend life by preventing this breakdown. Could we develop therapies that continuously renew our cells, allowing us to live indefinitely? Then there is nanotechnology. Imagine microscopic machines inside your body, repairing damaged cells, removing toxins, and even rebuilding organs from the inside out. This could stop aging at the molecular level. Some scientists believe that in the future, nanobots could patrol our bloodstream, eliminating disease and maintaining our bodies in a state of perfect health. And if we can't stop biological death, could we simply bypass it? Some futurists suggest that the key to immortality may not lie in our bodies at all, but in our minds. Brain uploading, the idea of transferring human consciousness into a digital format, is being explored as a way to preserve our thoughts, memories, and identities indefinitely. If we could copy our minds and upload them into machines, would that mean we had truly defeated death? Or would it simply be a copy of us, while the real self still fades away? But before we rush towards this dream of eternal life, we must ask the most important question. If we eliminate death, what happens next? The first and most obvious problem would be overpopulation. If no one dies, how do we make space for new generations? Would humanity be forced to stop having children? Would governments impose strict limits on reproduction? Could we expand to other planets to accommodate a growing population? Or would Earth itself become overburdened by those who never age? Then there is the psychological toll. Would an eternal life lead to purpose, or to madness? If you live long enough, would you lose motivation? Would love, friendship and ambition still matter if time was unlimited? If you had centuries ahead of you, would you still strive for success? Or would life lose its urgency, its meaning, its beauty? And here's a troubling thought. What if only the wealthy and powerful had access to immortality? If eternal life became a privilege for the elite, what would happen to those left behind? Would an immortal ruling class dominate the rest of humanity? Would societies divide into those who could afford to live forever and those who remained trapped by mortality? Throughout history, every time humanity has discovered power, it has struggled to control it. If death became optional, would we use this power wisely, or would we destroy ourselves in the pursuit of living forever? But what if death is not just a problem to be solved? What if it is essential to life itself? Imagine a world where no one dies. Leaders, dictators and the corrupt never leave power. No fresh ideas, no change, no renewal. Would society become stagnant, trapped in an endless cycle where nothing truly progresses? Nature itself relies on death to create new life. If nothing ever ended, could anything new ever begin? Religions, philosophy and even physics suggest that existence is based on cycles, creation and destruction, life and death. Could eliminating death disrupt something fundamental about reality itself? The answer to whether we will ever stop death is yes and no. Science may extend life far beyond what we know today, possibly allowing people to live for centuries or more. But the question isn't just can we, but should we? Perhaps the greatest irony is that it is death that makes life meaningful. Knowing our time is limited forces us to love deeply, create passionately and live fully. If we remove death, would we also remove the urgency that gives life its magic? So what do you think? Would you want to live forever? Would humanity survive immortality? Would it be a blessing or a curse? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if this video made you question everything, subscribe because the search for answers never ends.